Yeah, Kong Skull Island is a fun time, one that really doesn't hold off on letting you know what this version of Kong is. First, let's talk about anticipation, or lack thereof. We see Kong in the first scene, and boy do we see him. When we see a hand grabbing the side of a cliff, I really expected it to just cut away to the main titles. But no, it does not do that. The shot keeps on playing, and you see Kong in all his much, much bigger glory. Even when our main characters seeking the island arrive, it is not long at all before we see Kong. He is there within just a couple of minutes. We see Kong in the main bulk of this film before we see the indigenous peoples of the island. And you know what? That really threw me for a loop. Every previous movie has had such a clear formula, and whilst I knew that this movie wouldn't and really couldn't follow that formula, it still surprised me that it deviated from it this much. There is just no build-up to Kong here. He is just there. And that's not really a qualitative statement. I don't think that this is an especially good or bad move. It's just one that threw me for a loop. Personally, I am fine with it, although I do prefer a bit of build-up when it comes to these things, as I have previously mentioned. Kong he's big. I get that you need to scale him up so that he is capable of fighting the monster versus Godzilla eventually, but Jesus Christ, he is big here. He makes a bloody handprint that covers an entire fucking cliffside, and not a small one, a fucking big cliffside. His sizing has been a fairly consistent 25 feet for the past few installments. Here he's 100. That is just insane, monkey big. This film definitely has a style, and I love that. This is a big budget, studio driven franchise with a capital F film, and yet they still allow themselves to play with cinematography and colour and lighting, and that is really fun. It's never not interesting to look at. Take that one on for size MCU. There's a very kind of experimental vibe here. There's lots of POV shots that feel straight out of a first-person shooter. There's this shot of Kong picking up a helicopter that feels straight out of a theme park ride. It's constantly placing you inside the action and asking you to experience it along with the characters. Speaking of characters, I really like that Samuel L. Jackson's character is really lost without war. He doesn't know what his purpose in life is without an enemy to fight, so he just has to construct one, kind of out of thin air. I find it really interesting that this is a film like this that examines how war changes someone so frankly. I believe that this is a rare case of a blockbuster involving the military, not involving the assistance of the military. So they are able to take a harder stance on these issues, which is a good thing here. John C. Reilly is a delight in everything, and he is a delight here as well.
The Iwis won't speak their name, but I call them skull crawlers. Why? Because it sounds neat.
Okay.
He is by far the funniest element of the film, whilst also managing to provide some of the most touching and emotional scenes of the whole movie. One of which happens during the credits. It's just very nice work from him here. The indigenous peoples are portrayed far better than any previous adaptation, at least in my white boy perspective. They may have their own ways and customs, but they're not inhumanly presented, and they're just kind of trying to live out their lives on this frankly insane island. Their introduction and kind of immediate subversion of what you expect from these kind of characters in this kind of film is well done. Just well done. All in all, Kong Skull Island is a lot of fun that knows what it is, but manages to rise above its station, at least visually. It's not this incredible work of art, but then again, it does not need to be. I liked it, and there's not much more to it than that. I have 3 more films on this list left to go, with Pacific Rim Uprising being the next one.